Yeah, buddy. Welcome, everyone, to episode 433 of the Daily Mother Swole. And let me tell you, this three right here, it's so round and plumpy. Look at those three humps. Look at those three humps. I can't even see. I'm like Ray Charles over here, like. Oh, there it is. There's the gains right there. 433 of the Daily Mother Swole. Thank you so much for joining me. It's a little bit windy out here, so if it's breezy, just deal with it.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
I am back in sunny, cloudy South Florida. I mean, it's windy, it's kind of hot as BALLS. The GOAT has returned, Papa Swole, for episode 433 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular podcast, swolecast, broadcast, broadcast, beardcast, gaincast. Ooh, gaincast. In's the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. And I hope you enjoy the gun show, because these things do not have permits. We're gonna get into some fucking knowledge nukes. So thank you for joining me live every day at 12 noon Eastern time, right here on Facebook. You can catch all the episodes on YouTube, and you can listen. You could bang those ear holes with knowledge nukes on SoundCloud and iTunes every day. So every single episode, if you're busy and you're driving a car, if you're lifting in the gym, check out the podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes. And if you can, here's a couple things. I got a couple homework assignments for you to do today. If you listen to the podcast on iTunes, please, I appreciate all your support. Leave a review on iTunes if you can. And also, if you haven't left a review here on my Facebook page, please do so. Also, catch me on Instagram at Swolenormous, blowing it up with lots of stuff in my feed and also in my Instagram stories, so check me out there. Papa Swole, the greatest of all time, the GOAT himself, and you can catch these shirts. Let me know if you want one, if you want the GOAT, if you want the gains. I haven't had bulletproof coffee in like a week, and I'm amped. I am fucking amped. Today's episode 433 is a building upon episode. It's kind of like a part two from yesterday's episode where I discussed how to create your foundation. That a lot of you are training, but you're at the midpoint, right? You're at the midpoint. You need to go back in time. You need to go back in time and reteach yourself and kind of do a spring cleaning, because what happens is you start your fitness journey, right? Or you train with a friend, you train with a partner, you pick a weight training program that might be a little advanced for you because you want to see results, you want to really push it. But what happens is you're starting at a level that's too advanced for you. You're starting a little bit out of your realm of progression. And what happens is after 2, 3, 4, 5 years, or even after a few months, you end up moving slightly forward down the line and you're even more advanced and more progressed than you were before. However, you never created that foundation. You never created that base level. So as you get more advanced and as you get better, you have a strong base, but you never created that base. You kind of just jumped right in the middle. It's like, I want to learn how to swim. You never grabbed the paddle board and just tried kicking. You just kind of jumped in the deep end of the pool and learned to float. You learned to float, but you didn't really learn how to swim and function. So when you start going into different types of exercise training, when you try different exercise programs or exercise routines or new machines, you might start getting some pain, you might have some stiffness, you might not see as much progress. This is actually very common. If you're plateauing often, you might not have a strong enough foundation. And what happens is, if you are hitting plateaus oftentimes, you might think that it's something to do with what you're currently doing. And I want to make that very clear. If you are plateauing, and this is a great time to like and share this broadcast, because this is where the nukes are going to start to drop. For anyone that's hitting a plateau, and the reason why I say share the broadcast is because a lot of you have friends and family members that train that hit plateaus. It's very common. It's very common. I've done episodes on plateaus, how it's not that big of a deal. Plateaus are supposed to happen. Your body is designed to hit plateaus. That's how your body works. That's how your body functions. When you hit a plateau, you think it's something you're doing wrong right now. You think it's something you're doing wrong today, like the training program that you just started. That is what is fucking you up. What you're doing right now is what's, making you hit the skids. But what you might not realize is the reason that you may be hitting your plateau or hitting plateaus frequently is because you never did the right stuff at the beginning. You never did the right stuff to start, so when you're at this higher level or you're working at a more advanced level, you don't have the tools. You never created the tools here at the beginning in order to earn the type of progress that should be coming from your exercise program. And I hope that makes sense. So let me give you a couple examples. Yesterday I talked about yoga, I talked about mobility, I talked about activating slow twitch fibers, I talked about activating type 1 muscle fibers. Today I want to discuss a couple ways where you can take the exercise you're doing right now, the training you're doing right now, a couple tweaks, and it'll make it much more, I don't want to say advanced, but I'm going to explain why it's going to trigger more muscle activation and why it can help you see better progress and help you get through some plateaus, especially if you're not doing these things already. Number one, dumbbells over barbells. Now, barbells are very, I don't want to say archaic, classic way of training. Barbells are great. But what is one of the downsides to a barbell? It's a straight bar, you can't bend it, you can't change position. It's a bar, and pretty much you have to mold to the bar. If you can't grab it like this, then you have to grab it like this, you have to grab it like this, you have to grab it like this, but you have to grab it straight, and you don't have any options. Either you grab the bar as it's straight, or you don't grab the bar at all. So the bar is kind of like, hey, grab it like this, or tough fucking shit. So the barbell is kind of a dick. The barbell is corralling you and keeping you limited in your ability not to do different exercise, because a barbell is very versatile. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is your ability to customize your grip, your position for your wrist, for your shoulder, for your height, for your limb length is extremely limited. If you want to customize things, you go with dumbbells because you can change your grip, you can customize all the positions. Now, one of the benefits to a dumbbell that isn't just grip and comfort based is the neuromuscular activation. So when you are training your muscles, there's a couple different aspects and avenues where you can train your muscle. You can do coordination, neuromuscular activity and activation and stabilization, type 1 fiber, or you could do more force output, motor unit recruitment, more strength based. With a barbell, it's more strength based in general because first off, you're balancing one weight. You have one thing, it's easier to balance one item. Agreed? It's much more difficult to juggle, to balance two items. So what you're doing in effect by holding two dumbbells is you're challenging your body, your neuromuscular system a little bit more to keep those things in order. And a lot of you, and drop some comments below if you have any experience with this, may have done dumbbell training for a while and notice that your barbell exercise strength increased from that because you're getting some more neuromuscular activation from your dumbbell training. So right away, if you're like a barbell king and you do barbells for everything, you do barbell bench, you do barbell rows, you do barbell curls, you do barbell, skull crushes, barbell deadlifts, move to dumbbells and see how that can tax you, see how that can change the stimulation, see how that can change the overload for your muscles. Another item is to increase the instability. When you're doing dumbbell exercises, to increase the instability by doing things, for example, on one leg. And in my premium group and in some videos I've done on YouTube, you'll see me doing like some single leg exercise, single leg squats, single leg balance reach. And it's as simple as picking up one leg. You can't see me, but I'm picking up one leg and I'm doing my curls with one leg off the ground. Keep my stomach sucked in and my glutes tight. I'll be doing some of these exercise demos in my premium group later on this week, but those stabilization exercises, doing a push-up with one leg in the air, doing, doing training with bands rather than cables, rather than dumbbells, rather than barbells. So anytime where you're making the overload progressive, like band training, and I could do a whole episode on band training, and that's probably what I'm gonna have to do, but you are overloading and stimulating and challenging your body to create more intra and intermuscular coordination. You're training your body and forcing your body into an environment, and literally, that's what you're doing. Anytime you're doing an exercise program or routine, I want you to think about this as human evolutionary adaptation. If you're going to a gym and you're doing barbells, you're going into the world of barbells. You are literally adapting. You're putting your body into an environment in which overload is coming from barbells. If you're doing a dumbbell workout, you're going to this new land. You're traveling to a new world where you're putting your body in the environment that's going to subject it to dumbbell overload. You're doing band training. You're going to another universe where the overload and the environment is full of bands and your body has to adapt. That's what you're doing. That's what workouts are. That's what training is. That's what going to the gym is. You're going to an environment. And whatever you do in that environment, whatever you're subjecting yourself to, that is what your body is going to have to adapt to. So if you want to adapt these smaller muscle groups, these type 1 fibers, these stabilizers, the shoulder stabilizers, the hip stabilizers, the thoracic stabilizers, all the muscles that need to be strong for you to produce strength, all the muscles that need to be strong to reduce your risk of injury. You don't tear your pec. You don't tear your bicep, you tear your rotator cuff. You hurt your lower back, you hurt little tiny muscles. You don't want that to happen. If you're injured, you get no fucking gains. You get set back big time. So if you're trying to target these things and you're trying to create that better foundation that we talked about, so you can continue with your weight training and reduce your risk of injury and not hit those plateaus and break through those plateaus. You don't want to plateau if you can help it. It's a natural reaction. It's a natural adaptation process. But if you can avoid a plateau, why wouldn't you, right? Why wouldn't you want to see constant growth and constant gains? If you want to do that, you have to think of your body as that environmental adaptation machine. So put your body in a different environment. Put your body in an environment where you are doing more dumbbell exercises. Put your body in an environment when you're doing more stabilization style exercises on one leg, push-ups with one leg, pull downs with one arm, on a machine, for example, maybe doing it on a cable crossover where you're kind of like in a suspended lunge when you're not really locked into a bench with a pad on top of your thighs. So it gives you a little bit more dynamic. You're actually, freestanding one arm pull downs. You could do one arm rows with a dumbbell on one leg. And a lot of these exercises, those demos are coming. A lot of those are in my premium community already. But those are details. That's neither here nor there. My point is you need to challenge your body into a more proprioceptively enriched environment. You need to stimulate your body into needing to do more. With the barbell, it doesn't have to work as hard. You just focus on machines. You don't have to focus on balancing. The machine's on a track. You just But with dumbbells, you have to balance. You could change your grip. You could change how you pulse. You could change your repetition, your rep range. You could change your width. You could change your grip position. You could do one arm isometric and the other one works. You could do so many different things with one exercise without even moving, just changing things on the fly. So you can be much more dynamic. You can stimulate your body's demand for workload mentally, neuromuscularly, a lot more, and it can help you immediately. And that's what this episode is all about. What you can do, simple fix you can do right now. You'll see it says simple fix in the title. Simple fix you can do right now, just a tweak. Dumbbell over barbell. Switch to dumbbells. If you're a barbell king or any exercise, here's where I challenge you, and I want you to drop a comment below. Tell me what you're doing today. Tell me what you're training, and I want you to do any exercise you're doing with a barbell or a machine. I want you to do with a dumbbell. And if you don't know an exercise that can swap out for whatever you're doing today on a machine or a barbell for a dumbbell, drop in the comments and I'll check them throughout the day and I'll give you some pointers, okay? So today is dumbbell day. Anything you would do with a barbell, I want you to do with a dumbbell. Okay? I want you to get yourself more involved. I want you to get your body more involved. I want you to put a little more stress on your body. Make it work harder for the same exercise. You'll still get strength, but you'll also be working some other muscles that you might not have been working lately if you do mostly machines or mostly barbell exercises. Reminder, everyone, that tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and you can watch it later if you can't catch it live, but my premium workshop, detailed program design, going over exercises, going over exercise selection, going over sets, reps, rest periods, going over the details. Last week we talked about the principles of program design. Tonight, actually designing sample programs for beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And this is something that might have to be spread over another workshop. We're gonna get as much packed into tonight's workshop as possible, usually about an hour, 15 minutes to an hour. If you are not signed up for my premium community, where you can catch all the previous workshops, exercise demos, the forums, amazing family, you can click the link in the description. But I'll see everyone tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's kind of nice to be back. Gray skies, windy, looks like it's gonna rain. I think I just missed another downpour for the Daily Swole. But thank you so much for joining me, everyone, for episode 433 of the most muscular Swolecast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. I'll see all of you on Instagram, so make sure you follow me, Instagram at Swolenormous, and of course every day, 12 noon Eastern time, right here on Facebook. Every episode's on YouTube, and also listening to the podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes. If you catch me on the podcast on iTunes, drop me a review on Apple iTunes. I appreciate it. And also here on my Facebook page, if you have not left a review yet, drop a review for Papa Swole. Talk about the beard, talk about the gains, talk about the show, talk about whatever, but leave an honest review. I appreciate it right here on my Facebook page. Love you all. Peace, McGee's. Deuce, Magoose. I'll see everyone for the premium workshop tonight at 8 p.m. Remember, sign up is in the description. I'll see y'all later. Ooh. I can't wait to pump today. I'm so fucking amped. It's good to be back. Later, guys.